So another preparation video for the postmaster practitioner, since these are still things that are covered early on in NLP practitioner, useful for anyone for a refresher or even completely new to the topic of NLP. The fourth perceptual position of NLP is that of a group position. The camera angle is a little harder here because you cannot see the camera angle from an entire group in the same way as you would do the first, second, or third perceptual position. But if you imagine, let's say, being a speaker or a teacher, then the whole group is looking at you. So you can sort of get that broad camera angle. And the fourth perceptual position is, what does the group need? What is the group desire, the group's positive intent, the group's negative response even? For instance, the group being the family as a whole, the company, the department, the community, the group of people that you're working with. So that's the kind of the groups that you're talking about. And it's a great place to be if you're a presenter when you're working with groups, but it's also a great place to be to understand what your family needs. Like, for instance, in a divorce, there are the different first perceptual positions of the different players. There's the ability to step into second, but also how do you make a whole family decision that benefits everyone? So that's for instance, and in business it's the same thing. How do you make a decision that benefits the company as a whole? And in the present time, very useful to understand, like, well, how can I cater to the group as a whole? In the past, also useful, because you can sort of like go back, is how can I improve my group communication, even go back to a conflict inside a group, or where something worked really, really well, where the teamwork was great. It's going back into this group position gives a lot of helpful information. Same as for the future. Also here can be done positively and negatively as well. It's like you go into the negative what if scenario of the group, like we're all gonna die, it's all gonna go bad, everybody's gonna be harmed. But also in a positive future way, and even a group goal starts becoming relevant. The constraint inside NLP practitioner and master practitioner is that to really properly deal with this fourth perceptual position of a family situation is not really addressed. In the postmaster practitioner, we actually go into understanding our own behavior and our own life, positively and negatively, but mostly negatively, in resolving some issues that you hold on to in relation to your own parents. We go into parental timelining and great-grandparental timelining. You may think that this is really a life coaching tool, which it is, to sort of like step into this place of forgiveness and healing, or understanding about your entire timeline, why your parents were the way that you were. But this is also really useful for business, in a sense, for business coaching. And the reason why is we operate from those programs that have been installed inside of us at a very young age. So that's covered in the postmaster practitioner. Now also over here, being too much time in this position is also not a good idea. For instance, I come from an Asian family, and you're often in a situation where I'm requested to do things because that's what everybody else wants. That's what the group wants. And so for me, I'm like, well, what about me? That's not what I want. That's what the family wants, but it's not my world, not my goal. I think this can be a hugely positive thing if it's sort of like this community that is amazing and working for you. But if it's not a community that's amazing for you, then why would you want to cater to that? But there can be pressure points there. And so these types of pressure points and the beliefs that we also learn from our parents, our great-grandparents, and everybody before that, positive as well as negative, that's something that we also work with inside the postmaster practitioner, where it's about releasing the negative belief systems that have been installed inside of your family structure for years. So that's another thing that's covered in that postmaster. And so that's the fourth perceptual position of NLP. And next video is the fifth perceptual position of NLP.